Blind Beauty. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Theodore Roosevelt.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer. What we are going to do today is I am going to show you a date night appropriate look. Now this look is not just for going out on dates, because personally, I don't even date. You know, I'm not married, I'm not seeing anybody, but I just don't date. So, but this is even for a time that you're wanting to go out and really just feel good. You want to feel hot, you want to feel sexy. This is what I consider a hot, sexy look. Some people may say, yeah, that's far from it, but you know, it's whatever you are comfortable in and whatever makes you feel the prettiest and the boldest. And because if you want to go with a bronzy eye, you know, or a taupey eye rather, you gotta own it. Whatever makeup look you gotta do, it doesn't matter what makeup you got on. As long as you own it, you can pull it off. You can do it. You know, so that's what's important. And I take you through and I chat with y'all a little bit, so if you want to, go ahead and grab you something to eat, something to drink, sit down and just chit chat with me, because I do ask y'all some questions and I'd love to get your feedback, because I love to hear from y'all, because y'all make my day whenever I see a comment or something from y'all, because it really does bring a smile to my face, because it really helps. It helps boost my mood and helps me to know, okay, y'all really do want me to keep going. Because if I'm not seeing comments and whatnot, I don't know if it's really even worth doing this sometimes. But I do want to hear from y'all, and I do hope that you join me over in the Facebook Blind Beauty Support group chat as well, or group, as well as on the Blind Beauty Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. And what do you say we get started with this video? Let's get started! Alright, what do you say we go ahead and jump on in here and let's get started. Alright, now first thing I would recommend is prime your face, because that is important because you want your makeup to stay on as long as possible. So I'm going to take the NYX First Base Primer Spray, just because number one, it's fast, it's easy. That's the number two thing. So you just spritz your face real good. And I am working on my background a little more still, so you know, doing different things. I'm moving this room around still, so you might see things changing up back there, different things hanging up, different things being there, you know. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. That's why things might look a little different to you from time to time. And let me know if you like this lighting, if I'm too washed out, if I'm too, you know, white. So, and then I'm going to take a mixture here of the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundations. I have two shades. One is in, I believe, tan, and one is in sand, I think. No, one's in buff, pardon me, and the other one is in sand. So I've got these two shades. I'm going to mix them together, just pump them on the back of my hand, or actually, yeah, pump them on the back of my hand and dot it all over my face. And then I'll use a brush and I'll blend the entire thing in. But you can tell they're two different shades. The one shade, I think it's the buff shade. Yeah, the buff shade is quite a bit more tan than the sand shade right there. So I'm going to just take those and kind of dot them all along my face. I'm going to take the darker shade and put it where I would normally contour, and kind of around the perimeter of my face mostly. And then I'll take the lighter shade and focus it more in the center of the face. I was watching Wayne Goss talk about foundation and whatnot one day, and you know, he was talking about doing this, actually, so I was like, that's kind of interesting, so thought I'd give it a shot. Well, I need one more pump of the buff shade, looks like. Kind of, usually it takes a good, you know, 3 pumps anyway for me to do this foundation, but I tend to overdo foundation, I think, but, you know, especially whenever I'm as tan as I am right now. So, but now I'm going to take that sand shade and just kind of dot it everywhere else. I really didn't blend it, I just kind of dotted it where I wanted it. So, take it, put it down the nose, put it on the forehead. Right now my skin, for some reason, has been kind of drying out on me. So this actually is a good foundation for me right now. And I am using a makeup wipe to wipe off my hand. Then I'm going to take the e.l.f. powder brush. It's the flat brush like this. I'm going to take that and I'm going to buff this in. Oh, if I can find my mirror. There it is. Lost my mirror for a second, y'all. Alright, just buffing this in, and I'm going to fast forward through this so that it doesn't take forever. Okay, yes, I actually got some foundation in my hair. So yeah, if you have longer hair, if you have hair that doesn't like to stay back or whatever, you might want to use a headband or something like that. But me, I chose to not do it. Not today. At first I was going to just do an eye look with this. I wasn't going to do the full-on thing, but I thought, hey, why not? You know, if people want to see it, they want to see it. If they don't want to see it, you know, I'll try to put a timestamp below where you can just skip straight to the eye look if you want to. Now, I understand some people only want to see one thing or the other. Now I'm taking the e.l.f. HD Concealer, and by the way, this is not sponsored by e.l.f. I am using quite a few e.l.f. products, I know. But it's not sponsored by e.l.f. e.l.f. is a good, cheap brand. And I'm focusing this on in a triangular shape under the eye, and I am going a little heavier. I'm going down to like where the end of the nose is. And I'm just taking this and making that triangle all the way from inner corner all the way to outer corner, and then like where the brow ends. That's how far I took it this time. I've been watching a lot of Wayne Goss videos lately, and like his tips and whatnot. I'm thinking of doing like a Wayne Goss tips tested. Would y'all like to see that? Let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see a Wayne Goss tips tested video. You know, because he's got so many that it's like, sometimes I wonder, okay, does that really work? I'm sure y'all have heard tips or seen tips or whatever from time to time that you're like, that can't possibly work. You know, I know I do. I see that crap quite a bit, and I'm too scared to try it because I don't think it'll work. And I'm just using my ring finger and blending all that in. And then what I'm going to do after I blend this in, I'm going to take my L'Oreal True Match Powder. L'Oreal True Match Powder in W4. I believe that's natural beige, I'm not sure, honestly. But I'm going to take that, and I'll be using the same brush I used for the foundation to put that on. It's this right here. It is a more expensive powder, yes, but it can act as a powder foundation. The other day I was just playing with makeup a little bit, and I put on concealer. You know, I used the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in Neutralizer in several different spots. Just put that on and, you know, did some highlighting, did a little bit of cream contouring too. And then I took this powder and buffed it all over the face, and it's like, you couldn't even tell that I didn't have actual foundation on. But I'm putting it on this brush here, and I'm just going to buff this in, you know. I have used this powder with this foundation before, and I kind of like it because it gives it a more mattified appearance than without anything. So, but yeah, I got my haircut recently, and you know, if y'all want to see like a tutorial on how I curled my hair, like in my makeup, what was it called? The palette tag, perfect palette tag. That's what I was trying to think of. If y'all want to see how I curled my hair there, or how I get my hair to look like this is just blow dried, by the way. Nothing else. Just blow dried. No products in it. Nothing. So, but if y'all want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. I'm happy to do that for y'all. Because I don't know what y'all really want to see. But, and I know if you're getting ready for a date, you don't want to take an hour getting ready. I mean, say your date is there waiting on you or something, or someone is there waiting on you to go out to a club or whatever. You don't want to spend an hour getting ready. Now, yes, this might take a little longer because I'm chit-chatting with y'all. But now I'm going to take the e.l.f. Blush and Bronzer Contour Kit, pretty much, is what I consider this. And I'm using the e.l.f. bronzing brush, and I'm going to go into, we're going to just go straight into that bronzer shade first. Tap it off. And I'm not doing a crazy contour, y'all. Going right there at the hollows of the cheeks, real lightly. If you're new to contouring or you're scared of it, this is a good brush to use, because it really does have, like, I could flip it the opposite way if I wanted, you know, more definition on the inner part instead of outer towards the hairline. But I like it more defined at the hairline and then bring it in than I do anywhere else. So, but it's all personal preference. Then you can take that same brush, go into the blush in here, swirl it around. You don't really want to smile, especially if you're 35 or older like I am, but you just want to find where your cheek is, pretty much. You can smile and find your cheek, and then you just swirl it on the apple of your cheek and then back. I have a contouring video in my beginner beauty series where I talk about contouring and blush and highlight and all that. So, because I do have a beginner beauty series where y'all can check that out, and if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them for you. But I took that and, you know, just real lightly did it. Then I'm going to take the highlight, the White Pearl highlight from e.l.f. And I'm using the, I think this is the highlight brush, actually. Yes, the highlight brush from e.l.f. Like I said, y'all, a lot of e.l.f., a lot of e.l.f. Now this highlight is only $2, and you can sometimes find it at Walmart. I don't think you can find that blush and bronzer duo at Walmart anymore, because it's so, you know, honestly, it's old. It's one of their older products. Now they have the Aqua blush and bronzer thing, which is a cream. And I do have that. I'm still kind of nervous about it because I'm not good with cream products. So, and I'm going at the top of my cheekbone, and then I take it just above my brow too. Just because I kind of like that look sometimes. Okay. Thought I was seeing something, then I'm going to take it down the nose just for the heck of it. This does give quite a bit of glow. If you don't want this much of a glow, you can always use a fan brush. And a fan brush does give you a lighter, you know, application of whatever product you're using. So, that's something to keep in mind. You can use a fan brush. And just like with the foundations, you didn't have to use a brush at all for that. You could use your hands, which that's how I started out, was using my hands. I didn't start using a brush till a year into doing my makeup, I guess. Or two, something like that. But that right there is pretty much the face. You got your foundation, your powder, your concealer, your blush, bronzer, highlight, all that jazz. So now, let's start on the eyes. Because the eyes are the window to the soul. I don't know if y'all believe that, but I sure as heck do. And I'm taking the Essence I Love Stage Primer. And I'm going to put this on the lids. Now I'm kind of, you know, sometimes with some palettes, yes, I like to set the primer, sometimes I don't. You know, it all depends on the product, I guess, because certain ones do better if they have something to grab onto as you're putting them down, but other ones do better if you set it. Now, I have found that sometimes, yes, setting it does make a difference, because then it does go on a little smoother. And the eyeshadow palette we're using today, by the way, is the CoverGirl True Naked Nudes palette. And if I'm not mistaken, which I very well could be, because things change in price all the time. And I am taking this all the way up to the brow bone, by the way. But the True Naked Nudes, it's supposedly a dupe for the Naked palette. Supposedly, I don't know, I don't own it. But this is what it looks like right here. Now, they've changed the packaging since I've gotten mine. But if you find the True Naked Nudes, it might have a white strip across the front of it. And there's different ones, but True Naked Nudes is what I'm using today. Yes, believe it or not, we're using a lot of e.l.f. brushes. Most of these brushes, the white brushes you see here, are $2 brushes. Whenever I originally got started on them, though, they were only $1. So, and we're going to go a little more bold with this look today than I normally would, so I'm stepping out of my comfort zone here, y'all. You might not like that, and you might think, hey, that's pretty cool. But I'm taking this brush here. Unfortunately, e.l.f. does not put names on them. It's a small brush, like, it's fairly small. It works for getting right in there in the crease. And I'm going into that 4th shade. It's a matte brown color right there. We're going into the 4th shade, and I'm going to buff that into the crease. And I will fast forward through this so that it doesn't take forever to do. Now then, I've got the crease shade in. That is going to be like our base, our blending shade, where we can take that and kind of mesh the other colors together as we go if we want to. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flat brush here from e.l.f. And I believe this is the eyeshadow brush. This one actually has a name, but it is the eyeshadow brush. But this one is actually cracked because I've had it for so long. So, back in the day, they did put the names on them. But I'm going to go into that taupey shade, which is right next to the one we were just using. It is the 5th shade over. Right there. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to put that on the lid. But before I do, I am going to take my Oil Control Fixing Spray by Makeup Revolution. And I'm going to spritz this brush real good. We're going to spritz it good. Spritz it good. What that does is that helps it give it a more metallic look whenever I put it on my lid, because I do want that extra ooh. Give me some ooh, ooh. And then I'm going to go into that shade there. And we're going to put that on the inner half, 2/3 actually of the lid especially. But really want to get this on the lid here. And we're going to go back in and we can fix whatever we mess up on. It's no big deal, y'all. No big deal. If you mess up, anything can be fixed. You might not think that and you may want to freak out or whatever, but any problem you have can be fixed some way. It might mean taking a little extra of something and adding to it. It could mean that you remove part of it with a makeup wipe or something like that. But anything you do can be fixed if need be. So, that right there is what that's looking like so far. And I have a bright light to the side of the camera right now because I'm still working on my lighting. I asked in one of my previous videos, whether y'all liked the lighting and whatnot, but I didn't really get a response, so I'm just going back to how I'm comfortable. But you can build this up as much as you want to. I like to build it up quite a bit because I like that shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. But we're going to put a little bit more shimmer on there anyway, so it's not that big a deal. Okay, now I'm going to go back to that brush we were using before. And I'm going to go back into that crease shade. And we're going to just blend kind of over the edges of everything so far. You don't have to go crazy here. You don't have to go hog wild. Because you want to take this all the way to that inner corner, by the way. You want to make sure you went all the way to, not in the tear duct, but pretty darn close to it. Then I'm even going to take this same shade, and I'm going to put it in the outer V as well. Just like that, where you just, like, pat and drag is all you're doing. Because that's going to also help the other shades that we put in there to blend as well. And that's one thing too, you want to make sure that you tap off your brush with this palette because it is rather powdery. So, and I know that I say a lot, but I am trying to make this a little bit faster tutorial, but where I am talking a little more as well. Instead of just, this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm doing it, blah blah blah, but actually chit-chatting with y'all a little bit. So, I'm going to go into the 6th shade, which is right next to that one we were just using. Basically, we used 4, 5, and 6 so far. But we're going to go into the 6th shade now, and we're going to put that in the outer V as well. Focusing more on the last quarter of the lid than all the way, you know, the 3rd that we did with the transition shade. But I have so many good ideas coming up. I've got some for holidays, I've got hair ideas, but I'm not sure what exactly y'all want to see hair-wise. And I am taking this and pulling it into the crease just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but about halfway through. Because there's so many different things you can do. I've done several back-to-school things this year. You know, I've done some back-to-school tutorials. I've done a hair tutorial for that. And that's not just for back-to-school, y'all. That could be where you're just wanting to change things up a little bit. You know, you may want to say, okay, I need to start over. I need a new look. I need to get some new ideas going, some fresh ideas. That's where you can go to that back-to-school playlist, too. It's not just for kids. I'm, you know, a grown woman, and I do most of the things that I showed in those back-to-school tutorials. So, with that right there, I took it and just put it in the outer V. And then I'm going to go into, I'm going to mix that 6th shade and the 8th shade, which is that brown and black. I'm going to mix them together, back and forth. Tap it off. And then we're just going to dot that like right in that outer area. So, like I've got, I don't know if y'all would want to see like makeup organization ideas, because I do have some stuff that I'm working on for organization and like display stuff. Like back behind me, I eventually want to have like some of my makeup maybe displayed. I'm probably going to, I'm not sure what I'll do yet really there, but we shall see. And I'm taking this, and you always do want to start out lighter, because you can always add to, you can never take away with this. So, and I'm just kind of going a little darker than I normally would here. But this could be a clubbing look, it could be whatever. But like right now in my background, I have a armoire back there with some bears on it. I'm not sure if I want to put my rocking chair back there or not. because I could easily film, you know, further behind me. Because the perfect palette tag, I felt like I was too much in the dark with the perfect palette tag, but I still did it. I still posted it. But, okay. And if you ever wonder, like, because with me, I think, okay, well, it's a shadow I'm seeing because of the lighting. I'll think, okay, it's a shadow, but then whenever I'm actually watching myself in editing, I see, oh crap, I have this big old black splotch. Y'all, that does happen. Whether you can see or can't see or whatever, it can happen to anybody. That's where you just are extra cautious. You ask for help if you need to. And unfortunately, y'all are the only people that can help me. Really and truly. But I kind of like this deeper, darker look. Okay. Now then, I'm going to take this is a smudger type brush. It's well, I forget what it's called. Let me see here. Actually, that is what it's called. It's called the smudger brush, or smudge brush. And we're going to go into the shade that we were using very first to do the crease from inner corner to outer corner. And we're going to smudge this on the lower lash line. All you have to do, all you're doing is just basically making it to where it's going to blend with everything else. And I'm taking about 3/4 of the way in. That's why it is important to make sure I conceal really well under there, because otherwise it looks way too dark, especially with what I'm doing here. Then I'm going to take that darker shade that we use, not mixing the brown and black, but the number 6 shade. I'm going to dip into that just a little bit, really tap it off, and I'm going to focus this on the outer third of my lower lash line. I'm actually going to look up and do that. That way I can push it right into that lower lash line. And do the same thing on the other eye. Have y'all ever noticed the faces you make whenever you're doing makeup? I go back and watch myself in editing, and it embarrasses me sometimes, the looks that I get on my face. But I think everybody who does eyeliner and who does mascara has that one face sometimes that they get, and you can't just turn it off. Excuse me. Alright. That right there is that. I'm going to grab my, about to knock stuff over here. This is the e.l.f. angled eyeliner brush. It's one of the studio ones. Now this was a $3, I believe it's a $4 one now. But it has a bent head to it, pretty much. It has a bent head, and then it's a real fine brush tip. And I'm going to go into the Kiss eyeliner. You can find this at Walmart, Walgreens. Most of this stuff you can find at Walmart or Walgreens or different places like that. I'm going to just go real lightly into it here. Make sure I brush off the excess. I'm still getting used to gel. And I'm just pushing it right there, as close to that lash line as I possibly can. And I'm going to speed through this so that it doesn't take forever. Okay, now then, my liner is done. Now what's funny is, with the gel liner, I guess I've just gotten so used to doing liquid and struggling with the liquid, I forgot that I used to use gel liner a long time ago, but it was the e.l.f. one. And it just didn't go on as smoothly as this. I'm still kind of trying to form an opinion on the Kiss one. But, you know, I try not to jump to a conclusion on something the first time I use it, or second time, or even third or fourth time. But then I'm taking the Rimmel Scandalized nude liner and putting that in my waterline. Alright. But yeah, I'm still trying to form an opinion on that. I know whenever I originally got it, it came with a stencil. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to the stencil, but somehow it disappeared on me. But with my vision, I wouldn't have been able to really use it anyway, because I do have to hold everything close whenever I'm doing my liner and whatnot. But I'm taking my, I believe this is the e.l.f. eyelash curler. I'm going to curl my lashes and put on some mascara. And the mascara I'm using today, I think, is the, let me see here, which one is this? Big Shot. Maybelline Big Shot. I'm going to use that today. But what I'm going to do is, I'm trying to get back to where I at least do 3, possibly 5 videos a week. Right now I already had Tuesdays filmed. Like my Tuesday and Thursdays ones, at least until next Tuesday, are already pre-filmed. So they're ready to go. That's my makeup collection. Then I'm also doing a beginner beauty series, and I've got some of those done too already. So I'm just kind of using Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays are always pre-filmed, but my Monday, Wednesdays are not. So those are still kind of up in the air. But now I'm going to take that Big Shot Extreme right here, and I did actually bend this head because I heard on Wayne Goss had a mascara tip about bend the head a little bit and it can make it go on a lot easier. And I was watching a tutorial actually the other day on someone's channel. I don't remember whose it was now, but she it was something by L'Oreal that was like one that was, you could twist the handle and like really make it go nuts, like where it automatically made it a bent handle instead of a straight up. Now I remember why I wasn't a fan of this, because it gives me more spidery lashes. But hey, it'll be alright. Sometimes spidery lashes can work. But yeah, the bent tip, like where you can apply it, you can really get in closer to the root. And that's another thing I heard him say, like if you really want plump free, don't do the wiggle wiggle wiggle. I've always been taught, you know, put it at the base of your lashes and wiggle it back and forth and then pull out. He was saying if you really want the length, get it at the base and pull straight out. Alright, what I went and did is I went and got a comb. If you've ever gotten a makeup brush set, sometimes you might have one that has like a little brush on one side and a comb on the other. I mean, some people are like, what in the heck is that for? I use it for my lashes. I get my mirror and then just comb them out, because that helps with clumping for me. Alright, now then, just because I had to do that, I'm going to take them and curl them a little more. Here, I'm going to curl them just a little bit more. And I do this like usually after it's already dry, because otherwise you can rip out lashes. And I don't really recommend ripping out your lashes because it's hard to grow them back. But I'm going to take another coat of this and put that on. Alright. Now there is one thing that I have not done yet, y'all, that if you know me, you know, sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. But if I'm wanting to go on a date or go out somewhere, I like to make sure one thing in particular is done too. And that is my eyebrows. So I'm taking the e.l.f. brow pencil in taupe. Now you can use the taupe one, you can use a brown one, whatever shade you want to use, but you just lightly fill them in. Now me, I like a darker brown right now with my hair this dark, but I didn't really want to go with the Wet n Wild one. Now I'm going to take the spoolie end and brush through them. And I realize there's one other thing on the eye look that I did not do yet. I'm taking that nudes palette. And for those that have been into makeup for a while and whatnot, did you ever feel like really weird whenever you first heard CoverGirl Nudes or Urban Decay Naked? Didn't that just sound awful? But I grew up in the 90s, so it's like, you didn't hear about that type of thing. I mean, heck, you couldn't even hear a song that had bad words in it, period. They'd bleep them out, usually. Now I'm going to take the white that's in this shade here, and I'm taking it on the smaller brush. It's similar to the one that I used in the crease. And I'm going to put this right under the brow. That just helps highlight the brow. And I'm going to take it on my finger as well and put it on the inner corner, and that just will help brighten up this entire look a little bit. Because whenever you're using such dark shades like I just did, it can really look really, really dark really, really fast. Now, I've never really tried like a black smoky eye or a brown smoky eye, but I'm trying to get up that nerve, y'all. I'm trying. I'm going to wet this brush with the same spray that I was using before. We're going to dot that right on that inner corner. Dot it down, dot it down. We're even pulling it in just a tiny, tiny bit too. Where it kind of brightens up that whole area, where it brings a little bit of light back to the face. That right there. Okay. I mean, you can go even further with this look if you wanted to and really do a winged liner and all that, fake lashes. Me, I'm not, but I'm going to show you a couple different lip options here. We'll start out with Barely Brown, because I do have like a bronzy color eye. This is a Color Sensational lipstick by Maybelline. That right there is Barely Brown. Now then, let me take that off. Now, I'm going to show you another option that you have, because you can go any route with this here. You can wear a mauve, like Magnificent Mauve. Show you that one real quick. And you can tell I've used this one quite a bit. Got a hair in my mouth. That was Magnificent Mauve in the color Sensational. Now, we are going to switch to another brand entirely, but granted, Maybelline does have really pretty reds too. I mean, their matte one in Siren and Scarlet is gorgeous. And yes, by the way, the Maybelline ones do stick around and they don't let up. This right here is the CoverGirl. Honestly, I don't know what it is. It's in the shade 300 Garnet Flame. Whatever it is. It's a bright red tube. It doesn't have on there what exactly it's called. But I'm taking that and I'm going to put that on my lips and show you what that looks like too. Actually, no, I'm not doing that. I thought it was going to be more red. I couldn't remember what it looked like on me. But that is Garnet Flame. That don't look like no Garnet Flame to me. Looks more like I just put on hot pink lipstick. Well, let's just go ahead and go with that Siren and Scarlet by Maybelline Color Sensational Matte. We're gonna go with that. Yeah, that's better. Oh yeah. To me, if I'm wanting to feel sexy or whatever, I like a good berry lip or a bright red lip or something. Because whenever you wear something bold, I have a video about how to wear a bold lip anyway. But whenever you wear a bold lip, the key is you have to own it. So, with that right there, that is the finished look. So I hope that y'all did enjoy this, and if you did, please give me a big thumbs up so that I know that you like this kind of thing, and let me know in the comments down below if you like me chit-chatting and taking a little bit extra time with y'all, because some people don't like long videos, some people do. You know, it all depends on what you want, what you prefer, but I don't know what you want unless you let me know what you want, because that's just me. Trust me, I wish I could analyze things a lot better than I can, but I can't. I can't let myself overthink it. But I also hope that you join me over on Facebook. I have a blind beauty support group over there where you can come and talk about all things affordable beauty. We talk about, you know, pretty much anything. I might show hacks. There might be some dupes in there. Eventually, I plan on doing some like behind the scenes get ready with me type things. Like if I'm wanting to get ready before I film a video, then I might do it right in there. Or I might go in there and just curl my hair or something and shoot the bull with y'all. So let me know if that's something y'all would like to see too in there, because I'm happy to do different things, and because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, y'all. I'm stepping out. I did today with this eye look, and it didn't turn out too shabby. But I also have an Instagram, a Facebook page, Blind Beauty Facebook page, a Snapchat, a Twitter, a WordPress blog. You know, you name it, I got it. And if I don't have it, let me know and I'll try to get it and try to start becoming a little more active on them. I can't promise anything, but I can try. You know. So I do hope to get to know some of y'all. And thank you so much for taking the time out in your day to watch my video. And I hope to see you very soon. Thank you, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.